Hi, I'm Luan Aiken, the Garden Ambassador here at Tagawa Gardens in Centennial, Colorado, and we are with Miss Lena, who is one of our perennial specialists and an enthusiastic rose grower, right?
Right.
So she's here to talk us through some of the maintenance tips and techniques for how to prune roses right as we approach the middle of summer. So different roses need different techniques, right?
They do. And the purpose of pruning roses during the summer is to promote more roses. You know, you want to keep pruning the plant so you keep getting more flowers. So let's start with this little hybrid tea right here. The beauty of a hybrid tea is it has its beautiful big buds, mostly a single flower, large single flower on a long stem. These are bred to be cut and brought inside. So when you do prune a rose, or a hybrid tea, don't be afraid to make a long cut.
Where?
Anything 6 to 12 inches. You can go down to a nice leaf bud. You can go down to this one here, or if you really wanted to go further, I wouldn't go further than perhaps this one right here. And I've got, you know, they talk about 5 leaflets outward facing, but anything that you see that is healthy that will produce another branch coming out. So I would really cut that rose right about there to bring it in and have it in a vase.
Lovely, lovely. Hybrid teas. One of the divas, but worth the effort.
They are worth the effort, yes.
This little shrub rose here is a beauty, and you've already worked on him, so he looks great.
He looks great, and they're easy to grow. A lot of people do have shrub roses, and shrub is the key here. It has a nice shrubby form, easy to maintain. And usually what I do with a shrub rose, I don't even, always need my pruners. I sometimes just walk through the garden and might just snip off the flower here and there, just like that, and just take off anything that doesn't look fresh. Every now and then we will come to a collection of flowers on one branch. And look at this, the rose is telling me exactly where to prune that branch.
That
because
pale
you've
new
got,
growth,
yes, the pale new growth right there. So you just want to make that cut about 1/4 inch above that growth, somewhere where you can get new growth coming up. Here's another variety of shrub rose, and what I like about the shrub roses, especially this one here, this one's called Home Run. You see this nice new red growth. So even when the rose is not in bloom, you've got this nice red growth, and the younger the growth, the redder the foliage. So it tells you right there where to make that cut. In this case, let's say right here, this flower is sort of coming to an end there, and I see a very tiny little bit of growth there. I would want to cut that flower off just above that growth, and how simple is that? Very easy. And then if you find that you've made several little cuts here and there and it's starting to look a little branchy, you can go down a little bit further and go and make a cut right here. But I'm not going to do that on this branch right here, because look at all that new growth coming up and potential flowers. That's what you have to look at with the new growth, potential flowers. And this one is just going to be loaded in a couple of weeks with new flowers.
More pruning, more buds.
Absolutely.
More flowers.
That's
Okay.
one thing you have to always remember.
Move on to the climber.
The climber. Climbing roses are not, they're a little more maintenance perhaps than a shrub rose, because in order for it to grow,